Hey guys, it's March 7th, and it's time for layout update 3. I did a layout update 3, but it didn't come out right. There was some error, and half the video got cut out for some reason. I think it's because I was using my iPad, which was low on storage, and gave me several notifications that my storage was almost full, at which I after had to delete the video to go make space on my iPad again. But I think it's a good thing that I'm remaking this entirely because if you've seen my videos before, you may notice one thing that has not been on the layout before, and that's all these train cars, freight rolling stock. There's a ton of cars that are disassembled, cars that are assembled. All of the cars I got are weathered. Some are unpainted, as are some locomotives. And I'm also going to talk to you about some of the scenery I did for those who haven't seen the other video that I did take off of YouTube. So let's get started. Okay, so let's start here. Sorry about the shaky camera work. I'm using this from my phone, and at least I don't have to worry about running out of space. I have another 30-something gigabytes on here. So as you can see, the Conrail and some of my newer freight cars are there, but if you look, there's also some other new cars on the layout. The trolley is original, and we get some of my favorite cars that I got. You see a Pennsylvania gondola, two Chesapeake and Ohio boxcars, an EJ&E, another Pennsylvania. I really like these three cars here. I'd say these cars here are my favorite among the whole layout. I got two cabooses. The two unpainted ones you see are the two cabooses I got. I got a tanker car, two tankers actually, a cotton belt weathered gondola, a AT&SF boxcar, three New Havens. One is not on the layout right now. The one that's not on the layout is a black New Haven with white New Haven letters and an orange door. This is a State of Maine and New Haven one, and this one's just a regular old New Haven boxcar. Another cotton belt gondola, and this really neat car, it's called Shippers. Here, I'll set the camera down. This car is really long, as you can see, and the only problem it has is since it has to cover such a turning radius, it has a little bit of trouble coupling, especially on turns. But it's kind of neat. It has a little bit of handrail work to be done on it, being that these all came from that were cluttered in a box for quite some time. But let's go over. As you can see, my newer rolling stock is the rolling stock that's not weathered. Let's head over here, and you can see some of the cars that I may either fix or list. Go through this. Penn Central, I may fix that. PhD, AT&SF, Great Northern, Morel, AC. I'm not sure about that company. Never heard of that. I haven't heard of KO&G or MSL. I have heard of your AT&SF. You have a Nestle boxcar over here. Western Maryland. I'm definitely going to put that on the top of my list for renovation. I really like that boxcar. Rock Island Gondola. You can't really make it out. It's a refrigerating car right here, but it's weathered pretty well. It says MDT I can make out, but that's it. Another cotton belt gondola with no trucks on it, and a Rio Grande weathered car. There's also some other stuff here, and like I said, this was all free. I got it for free. My dad knows the guy at the hobby shop, and he said that the owner of the hobby shop in Brantford said that he knew a man who was giving away a bunch of N-scale stuff, and he gave it to my dad and me for free. So the cars are weathered. They're weathered pretty heavily too, and slightly unrealistically, but they were all free, so I decided to take them. I mean, got all this free N-scale stuff. It'll be good to have some of the cars on, at least when I'm done with my railroad, which I do intend to model the Pennsylvania currently. Some of the freight cars won't be entirely accurate now that I have all this, because I definitely plan to use some of these. But yeah, right here I have a switcher body unpainted. I believe that's a GP38. I don't think so though. Maybe a GP50. I'm not entirely sure. I can't find a label of what it is. An unpainted caboose, an unpainted caboose body, the cupola module to one, two more unpainted cabooses, and let's head over here for the last part to the locomotives I got. Got this Trix U30C. I'm gonna paint that Conrail because they're in O scale. There's a U30C, or maybe it's a U25B, but no, it's the U30C. I'm sorry about that. But it's a Conrail, and I really liked it, and I couldn't find any, so I found this unpainted version in the box that all the N-scale stuff came with, and I decided to paint that Conrail. I'm not sure about the locomotive behind it. This body over here may be able to fit on. I have not tried it yet, but if you guys have any ideas for what I should paint that, whether it should be my own railroad or stick to Pennsylvania, I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna put this on eBay. I know it does run, but I don't really have much use for it. I'm gonna paint these Pennsylvania. They're not gonna be entirely accurate. I'm gonna do some stuff to them, some kit bashing on them to make them more accurate and detailed, like putting the handrails on the top and such. Sorry about the jerky camera work. My hands aren't that steady with the phone. But zoom back out. Yeah, that's what I have for trains, which is pretty good. I also got some Woodland Scenics people, track workers, and I got engineers too, but they're not here right now. They're upstairs. And I got plaster of Paris. Now let's go to the scenery work and see what I liked and what I didn't. Okay. Let's start at some of the scenery work that I did like. Around this Budweiser factory, I do intend to change it, by the way, the company. I did do some scenery work. Let's move over here. And I think I did a fairly good job with it. I had a person there, but I guess he just fell over. I kind of made it look, the soil, like rocky and such, and give it a lot of weeds. But go around, you can see what I did here. I also weathered the track to make it look like it was part of, like, it was sinking into the ground a little bit. It was bent, it was crooked, the cars had a little bit of trouble going through. I wanted to try and capture that look, and I did not use weathering materials for it. I just used plain old earth undercoat, as you can see right there, those bottles, to create that effect. So I think I did alright, considering I didn't use weathering materials, being that I haven't really I really wasn't able to get my hands on some yet. Also, I did scenery right here in between. There's a little bit of a forest right there, kind of like a start to all the trees that are going to be up on the mountain, which I did get plaster of Paris for, so in next layout update you should probably see that close to completion. I'm being hopeful here though. Go back down. I have to keep changing the focus of the camera because the lighting is not very good. I do intend to put some lights above this layout, but you go down, it stops here, and yeah, that's what I've done up to. But let's go to some of the scenery work that I didn't like. Okay, here we are at some of the work that I didn't like, and you may have been noticing this throughout the layout update so far. And I already started ripping it up because it was kind of a farm and it was a new idea, but I messed up. My hand shook a couple times by accident while I got distracted, and I messed up, so it looks worse than it did before, but it was kind of out of place, and I got to get some new scenery materials to really make this work. I don't think this, just to give you a background on what this is, you can see the lines. There's going to be a small farm here. It may expand down further. I intend to have either a wheat or corn field. If you guys want to give me any tips on that, I'm not very experienced, or I haven't seen many videos or any tutorials on, well, I have, but not exactly on like cornrows or stuff like that, that could apply to this setting here, like the base colors and everything else. I still have to look a little bit harder, but I'm gonna definitely take a look at that. I'm gonna take out the garden for good though, and I'm gonna put in a barn here, maybe a hen house, some tractors, a combine. Woodland Scenics has that tractor combine building thing with the tractors and stuff. I'd like to try that. The farmhouse will go here where the hammer is, where the butt of the hammer is. Maybe I'll have the driveway around here with a pickup truck or two. Yeah, so this has got to be vacuumed up, or just maybe some of it used as like a collage for something else. I'm not sure, but it's kind of really messy right now. Definitely plan to change that. One other thing is right here. So when I ran out of plaster of Paris, not thinking that I was gonna get some so soon, I used foliage to kind of cover the hillside, and this is kind of my thing so far that I've done with it. This is not permanent. As you can see, the rocks aren't glued in. This is tacked in, the foliage layers, and nothing has been weathered. So also, I gotta put grass over this. This has got to be redone right here, being that I didn't glue this down in time. So now you can see it's very loose now. I'm gonna have to get as much of this off as possible and put grass on that. That's another thing I gotta work on. Now, I just wanted to do one last thing, and there is plenty of stuff I need to redo, but I wanted to show you guys a little tour of how the layout will run. So let's get started with that. Okay, I'm gonna start the layout update here with the track ends on the inner main line. Now, right there's supposed to be a switch. The switch goes off from a siding and moves all the way across back to here. Off that, there's going to be 2 more spurs that go into a twin diesel locomotive shed, which is a kit made by Model Power. That's still in the works. It'll probably be here by next layout update. But the inner main line and the outer main line now run parallel. They go up through here. While the outer main line takes the grade, the inner main line stays level. Both go over a bridge, and the outer main line continues through the tunnel and back again towards the yard. Now here the inner main line has 2 spurs, one for passenger and one for freight. One is a factory siding that's already been weathered, and one is a passenger siding with a crossing that's been started pretty well so far. Passenger trains will pull in here and stop, and then come back out with the help of some signals that will be installed, as does freight. Freight will just be basically like usually the switcher or something that will leave a box car or pick up a box car. It's not going to be very busy, but the inner main line circles back around to where we started. Now the outer main line joins back up as it comes out of the tunnel with the inner main line. It runs parallel into the yard where it encounters 2 switch tracks. The switch that you see going to nothing connects the outer to the inner main line for track transfers and switching. The second is a siding, which runs across here and reconnects. Now, I did have the intention, oops, sorry about that, to not make it as curved. However, it did prove effective when I decided to add this extra spur in that goes all the way down and stops at the very edge of the layout. This is basically to hold cars and make my layout expandable in the future. So there you have it. That's my end scale layout so far. I may be listing some of these cars on eBay, so if you guys like any of these cars, please let me know. Some of the cars that I won't be able to restore. But yeah, that's it for this time, and I may make another update this month. I intend to. Maybe a couple how-to videos. You guys let me know. So thanks again for watching, and remember to like and subscribe. So this has been Joshua Haywood, and thanks for watching.